we had on the channel with Oleksandr Usyk, who spoke to Radio Raheem, and basically said not only is Deontay Wilder, in his mind, a harder fight than your son, but also that he called Tyson a liar regarding the reasons why their fight fell through. What's your response to that?
There's only one liar, and it's him and his team. Because he didn't want the fight. He thought he was going to tread where the grass is low. He heard on the grapevine Tyson was injured from some other bullshit source. And when Tyson offered him the fight, and 30% was too much for him, he still stood to make £17 million at Wembley. And it shows how much of a liar and a coward he is when he's boxing Daniel Dubois for peanuts compared to it. So does that make sense? Tyson will fight anybody, anywhere in the world, if the business sense is right. They're the ones, my friend. And I'll tell you what's going to happen here. Until he gets on and makes a proper video explaining what he did, tell the truth, he may never get the fight with Tyson. It's gone past money now with Tyson. Gone past everything with us. But they are taking the piss. He's a nobody, Usyk. Yes, he's won a few belts of AJ. You've seen how AJ's been performing. AJ's not performed for a while now. And the judging what he's done to AJ. Tyson will line him right out, and anybody in the game knows it. Deontay Wilder will stretch him completely. So how good is he? Tyson's walking around, fighting weight, 19.5, 6'9", and got an engine like a Ferrari. These people just can't beat him. But I'll tell you what they can't do. They're not good businessmen either. Because I'll tell you why. What he's doing there proves they're all cowardly liars and they're off to Saudi and hid behind the Saudis. The Saudis are a great nation. I love Saudi. I'd love to live there. But everything, what they've said so far has just been pie in the sky. There's been no concrete offers anywhere. There's been no money put forward. There's been no deposits, nothing. So I don't know what he's doing. He's just run over there, hid behind the Saudis and getting on saying this and saying that about Tyson. When the real truth is, that little Ukrainian rabbit doesn't want to fight Tyson. But what he's trying to do, he's trying to kill two birds with one stone, turn the public against Tyson, which have done a good job because the public's daft anyway, aren't they? They're not, they believe all this rubbish about, but if they knew as much about the job as we do, they'd be a lot better off. But the bottom line is, they never wanted to fight. Anthony Joshua never wanted to fight. Usyk never wanted to fight. But all he wants to do him is think the Saudis going to pay him silly money. Well, I got news for you. You're going to wait a long time. Unless he gets on the video and tells the truth of what he did, there'll never be a fight for Usyk. Never be.
Those are the words of John Fury as he gives Oleksandr Usyk an ultimatum. Come forth, explain what you did, offer us an apology, or you'll never get the fight. And let me counterpunch. A lot of things have been revealed, okay? We now know how much Usyk would have been offered. We know how much the 30% would have been, which is 13 million pounds, not 17, like John mentioned. That was exaggerating, right? 17 million versus 13 million is a totally different number. Him wanting people to turn against Tyson Fury, I don't think, honestly, that was Usyk's intention. I think what John he's not speaking of is the way that Oleksandr Usyk talks about Tyson. He says, yeah, Tyson's a showman, but Tyson's also a liar. And I think at some point, John needs to understand that, hey, his son, keeping it real, has told some tall tales. Taller than him. Okay? And I think that's what will happen. And saying, and see this whole interview, or segment of this interview about Usyk, stating that he wanted to turn the public against us. He didn't really ever want the fight. He wanted to run to get Saudi money. The chicken shit stuff that he did to get that particular fight or to sign with Skills Challenge is a cowardly offer, and he won't get paid when he's with Skills Challenge. Listen, Usyk and his team, which are smart businessmen, I think they should be more shrewd. I think they should be more unapologetic, honestly, are good businessmen. I never heard them have a problem with anybody else. You know what I mean? Like, Tyson Fury was retired when Usyk beat Joshua, but he was retired with the WBC belt still intact. Now, you got to ask Mauricio Suleiman about that. I mean, I don't know how that shit could even make sense, because it don't. You're retired, but you still have the belt. Stupid. But anyway, he still had the belt. And when Tyson said, hey, I'm coming back, and I'm coming back to the sport, and I want 500 million, you remember that? And he wanted all this money and all this stuff like that. But then he said, well, I want to fight Usyk or whatnot. But then Tyson did say that he was injured. He said that, not he heard from someone like John Fury claimed. He heard, or he was hoping that Tyson Fury was injured. That's why the fight wouldn't happen. No, Tyson Fury wasn't training. That's a totally different issue. And Tyson knew he wasn't training. But Tyson, bullshitting people, wanted people to believe that until his coach came forth, okay? That's one aspect of it. But going back before that, we had Tyson Fury calling out Usyk. Usyk said, well, I want to wait. I'll see you next year. So Usyk calls out Joshua. Okay, so all that happened. He called out Joshua, and then, he then blew a gasket because he got impatient and said, well, you know what? Monday is the deadline. Then this whole year went by, basically. The whole first part of the year was supposed to have been negotiations. And then day by day, I always wondered, like, okay, what's going on with these negotiations? Are these guys even working? Are they even making this happen? And nothing really happened until John Fury said he only deserves 30%. Now, right before that, in the same interview, Tyson Fury said that he would never get involved in negotiations again because it brings him stress. And it brings him anxiety, and he doesn't like that. He wants to focus on fighting. He's going to let the people that are over him or whatever, or works with him, do that work for him. But right after that, Big John Fury has said, hey, he's only worth 30%. Now he's saying in this interview that Oleksandr Usyk is not even worth 30%. And until he gets an apology from him, because he knew he was the one lying, he was the one that didn't want the fight, he was the one that walked away, which is true, he did walk away, he won't fathom an idea of Usyk fighting Tyson Fury or Usyk fighting his son without an apology and an explanation. Wow. I say impossible. Incredible. Because now what you've done, you've now said, or you've now drove a wedge, another possible obstacle due to a narrative in between him fighting your son. Now, what sense does this make to convince people, the world, that have a lot of them has turned over on Tyson and turned on Tyson? How can you convince those people that turned on Tyson that you guys were telling the truth if you want Usyk to do something stupid like that, like, say that, explain what happened in an apology and do some type of silly shit like that, or a fight won't happen if he doesn't do this? How about this? How about you guys, if you really want to fight, how about you go over to Skills Challenge, which Usyk is signed with Skills Challenge, and accept the offer that they are about to send you, as we already know that's going to happen. See, this whole ploy is like the Jedi mind trick. No, I'm not ducking because they're ducking. You know what I mean? And I'm not fighting them because they're ducking or they lied. And therefore we won't fight them. Well, how do we know that it wasn't you guys that didn't really want to fight with those lowball offers? Your son, John Fury, Shane Fury, admitted that that was a lowball offer. He did. He said that last week. Yeah, I admit that was a bit low for Usyk. It was a bit low for Usyk because everybody knows who Usyk is. Okay? I know this is kind of long, but I got to take it and I got to explain it and counterpunch it correctly. Shane said, yeah, that was a bad move. He's saying nobody knows who Usyk is. Well, shit. Usyk has done better than your son with the same opponents. Figure that shit out. Usyk has done something that your son hasn't been able to do besides fight Wilder 50 times. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so from fighting one guy, you can never convince a guy like me that you are the best by fighting that one man many times. That's stupid. That's no different from Deontay Wilder saying, hey, Luis Ortiz is the best because only I beat him. Well, you can't say that no more. But that was the narrative. And then the whole ploy was, let's keep Ortiz away from all these other fighters like Dillian White, like Anthony Joshua. Yes. And Luis Ortiz didn't have enough sense, business sense, to see what was going on. Okay? So Wilder was set up to look better than he was. Then if Tyson beats him, then he's better than him. But if he fights him and beats him again, that's how it's going to be. Now, I love how boxing unravels because as much as these guys, when Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder fight, then we'll see how good or we'll see how credible Tyson Fury is. But no, I don't think Oleksandr Usyk should, would, could give an apology for something that didn't happen. See, I don't believe that shit. The only thing I do question on Usyk's side was, why the fuck did you walk away? I would have pushed him to the wall and said, we're not budging anywhere. That fight would have happened already. I would have pulled the plug on shit because I was the one that sacrificed my fighter, Team Usyk, my fighter, Usyk, that to take that 30%. Well, Usyk decided to take the 30%, right? So that means I'm supposed to back Usyk for taking that 30% and stand on that hill. Not allow, this shit with Tyson Fury and, well, how about this rematch? And, how about, no, I ain't going to take 30% if I lose. Well, bitch, if you don't lose, if you can beat him, why not? That's what I don't understand it because it makes me sick when people try to insult your intelligence like John Fury and Tyson Fury. Okay? And Team Usyk, they're like, okay, well, look, we're tired of your bullshit. You're not even training. Fuck the injury. You're not even training. I don't even know if there was an injury, but you're not even training. Tyson said he was, but Tyson's a liar. So we don't know that. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of John Fury giving Team Usyk an ultimatum. Apologize, explain yourself, or no fight. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!